right now.
Jesus, this is going to be intense. I mean, there's nothing more, honestly, nerve-wracking than the initial launch. Off the bus, man, you're flying. Someone's going to die. Someone's going to be eliminated. Who's going to be the first one?
Yep.
You don't want to be the first one knocked out in the World Cup. You know, I mean, literally, I knocked him like, you know, it was the first game in the Pro-Am, and that was just amazing. You can't live that down. I don't want to be the first person knocking this.
No, for sure. As now we immediately hop on board with my pick to dominate today, Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage, and they're heading right towards Happy Hamlet, a place they've called home so many times, and this is contested.
It's already contested.
You're flying on into here, Ninja. The early game's so key, and already Benji Fishy trying to put shots down range with that revolver, but area is contested. You see they're kind of split from each other right now. What are their comms like in this exact moment?
I mean, I think right now they're just going to be trying to hear exactly where these guys are, footsteps, any type of information they can pass off to one another is going to be very important. They've been practicing this landing. I'm pretty sure I watch these guys play literally every week because they're from EU, so they were before NA qualifiers. Yeah. And yeah, this is exactly where they normally land. Savage and Benji, they don't always land on top of one another. And you're honestly at a disadvantage if you do land in the same house because you're going to be getting less shields of one another, right? Less chances of getting shotguns and things like that. And I'm just interested to see how they're going to play this out. Are they going to be aggressive? Or are they going to back down?
Well, we just saw the first zone has been revealed, and it is a northern side zone, so anyone in Happy Hamlet not safe. Polar Peak, Rusty Flights, Paradise Palms, Lucky Landing, all not safe. So continue to keep an eye on this fight. 98 players remaining right now in this game. Now, we mentioned the increased material farming right now, so you're hitting a couple trees, you're getting 20, 30 materials like it's nothing. Let's shift our focus, though, towards the middle of the map here at Dusty Divot, and it looks like Landjock and Punisher go out very, very early in this first game to Tetra and, on the flip side, the new Rogue members.
They're wasting a lot of material right now. You can already see it. You've got only 100 maps left. That's 10 builds. These early game fights are always so detrimental. You have to be very, very, very particular with how many mats you're going to use when you're trying to ramp rush somebody, because if you make it there and they shoot you out and you have no mats, I mean, you're left with literally nothing to protect yourself with.
And look at the advantage that you now have. Tetra hasn't had any shields, but because 2 eliminations come on through, he gets both. That's 50 shield per elim, putting him at max HP, and now he can completely change how he takes this fight. It's not like the normal games where you're still stuck at 100 health and you might second guess what you want to do. You might play a little more passively. No, because of those early elims, they now have Dusty Divot to themselves. They pushed out the Asian duo, pushing towards that top Dusty Divot side of XXM and Mend, and now they're sitting pretty. Divot all to themselves. They've got metal galore here, as well as wood. The one material that really be lacking is going to be stone.
Yeah, definitely going to be lacking stone. They can get a 500 metal, which is going to be their most valuable asset here, landing in Dusty. What I'm just interested to see is, you know, they have no rotation items when you're looking over there, so hopefully they find something that's going to help them rotate later. There are no balls that spawn in Dusty, so no ballers. It's going to be very difficult to make it to the late game if you guys don't have some sort of crazy rotation, shadow bombs, anything like that.
Here's another fight going on towards Fatal Fields, and with how little materials there are, you got to think these players down low who are already just on light HP are in a tough spot, and there it is. Scarlet and his duo, Bell, get the quick elimination onto Brush, and that's going to push back Brush's duo into Fatal Fields to try to hide for a brief moment. Another rough start right there. So much stone in Fatal Fields. I feel like Fatal Fields is a underrated landing spot.
I think you can get everything at Fatal Fields. You definitely get wood and brick very quickly, and then there's definitely some metal that you can gather around. You know, there's a bunch of cars and things like that. Some tractors there in the sticks. But listen, man, I'm really curious as to why they're not pushing Sizz.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword too, because yes, Sizz is by himself, but we've all experienced how easily you can hide in that brush there in the cornfields. And Sizz Lucky, these top players who land Fatal Fields know how to actually navigate the loot in the corn without breaking the corn. So
I need to break the corn every time.
Right, I'm not good enough to know, but there's a certain path you can go on, and Sizz Lucky will actually be able to go back and pick up Brush's cards. So this is key.
You think you should go
Reboot
for it?
Vans, remember, when you get brought back, you only had 100 HP and a common pistol. That will bring a lot of attention over. If you are Scarlet and Bell, are you sprint back over that fight? I think so. Now across the map, though, an engagement going out between KBB, Yuang, and their duo up against Vinny and Zexro, and there's the knock right there, Ninja.
Drum shotgun's very powerful. It's definitely underrated. You can get inside somebody's one-by-one right there. I mean, there's another knock with a drum shotgun, just absolutely wreaking havoc. Yuang trying to take this wall. I think his teammate is not going to be able to stay alive, so it's going to be Zex and Yu. He's got the shield advantage. All he has to do is play this patient. I'm pretty sure that these guys don't have that many materials, so just needs to spray it out and hopefully find a chance to take him down, but he's healing up.
Yeah, Zexro has minis as well as big shields, so we'll be able to get back to full shield. And Yuang now in a tough spot. Do I try to go?
Zex definitely can interrupt this now. He took too long to start going with the res, but it looks like he's just going to be going for the reloads, taking his time, and might be dipping out, maybe trying to. He's definitely staying aggressive, but he's going to get the revive off, and now it's a 2-on-1 again.
Zexro staying confident though, knowing right now still at over 150 HP, the teammate has to be at 30 health. The wall comes through, trying to spray it, and it's not gonna happen, and you see Zexro right there, hands right to his head, some solid damage done, but Yuang dropped down to 59 HP, but with that elimination, we'll bump back up to over 100. Very, very close right there, Ninja, with the drum shotgun.
Very important is checking out the storm right now. A lot of these players, there's a lot, you guys can't see the screen, but there are plenty of people who are outside. They're gonna have to start their rotations in, and this is actually where a lot of very talented players with their aim can clean up a lot of kills. This is actually my teammate and I's reverse. Our strategy was to try to get in those spots where you can beam people who are going to be flying throughout the sky using a lot of the slipstreams and just taking advantage of, your incredible accuracy.
A little update too on Sizz Lucky. They did get the reboot in Fatal, so they're both back in play. Look at how slow this lobby is going, folks. 92 players left, and a definite fan favorite here. Nate Hill and Funk of FaZe Clan currently set on up near Lazy Lagoon. And Ninja, this is your landing spot that you went to with your duo reverse. What are maybe some little tips and tricks for players at home who like to land here?
Yeah, all right, so there's, if you go on the boat, on the ship, every single one of the masts is like worth 200 wood, so you definitely want to go for those. You can easily get max wood in Arena in probably less than 10 seconds. And also there are some metal anchors in town that you can get for about 300 metal, which is, like the most valuable material that you can get. I mean, I'm just 91 players. I mean, have we talked about Storm Surge? I mean,
we haven't yet. I was going to let that be a bridge when we cross it, but
because 91 people left. I mean, how soon is it going to be?
We're going to have Storm Surge in every game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like, this is going to be nuts. If you guys don't know what Storm Surge is, basically the people, the team that has done the least amount of damage is going to start taking damage until they get above the damage threshold.
Yes, and it tells the players on their screen what the damage threshold is. If you're used to playing at home, you probably have never experienced Storm Surge in a normal game, but it is very common in competitive because everyone wants to last until late game, earn those extra points, and wind up getting those placement points to come on through. Watching Letwick and Flexi right now, it's so scrappy, Ninja. It's not your normal game where you get to loot up and freely grab everything you want. Here, I mean, look at the inventory. A common heavy assault rifle, 2 heavy bullets.
Yeah, I mean, people are not going to be able to loot. They're not going to be able to loot normally. I mean, you have every single spot is definitely going to be contested or have talented players who are surrounding you. You got to be constantly worried about getting sniped from the side. All it takes is 2 seconds of being caught off guard, and you can get dinked twice with an infantry rifle, and boom, there goes 160 health, man, just like that.
89 players left now in the lobby as Twiz and Cover H, the duo, do get cut down. 45 duos remaining. The second zone has just been revealed, and again, Storm Surge will begin after that. I absolutely think it's going to happen. That will be for 70-plus players. So you keep that in mind as this goes on. Players who haven't really done any damage will know that they're going to be at a point where their hand is going to kind of be forced. They're going to have to put on a little bit of aggression. You're going to see the game pick up just a little bit here. There's Snappy and Red Rush already in the next zone. They're more than happy to just farm up this metal structure and claim it as their own.
They're actually very centralized as well.
Yep.
I mean, a really great strategy that you're going to see a lot of people going to be using throughout this weekend in solos and in duos is to just try to get in the dead center of the second zone and honestly just kind of pray that the circle is going to continue to rotate in your favor. I mean, I'm still looking at a lot of these guys' inventories. One guy just gets knocked in front of the like going to try to save his team. It's not going to happen. But there's not a lot of rotation items. I haven't seen a lot of shockwave grenades. I haven't seen a lot of shadow bombs. I don't see any launch pads in anyone's inventory.
Yeah.
It's going to be such a, the rotations late game are going to be nuts. People are going to get lasered out of the sky.
And Letwick now all by himself in a 1 versus 2 as his teammate did go down. You see Farpy and Volks still quite healthy between the two of them. Over 140 HP for both of them. Farpy still playing on the slow ground, trying to spray out the opponent. And look at the material count for Volks. 135 total builds. It does look like Letwick just kind of ran away, but I don't believe Letwick was able to grab his teammates' reboot card. So will basically be by himself the rest of this game.
You know, it's going to be almost impossible to perform alone when when your teammate is knocked. And there's the Storm Surge warning. These guys are 106 above. You guys can see that, which means that there's somebody who has 106 damage less than them that is currently below the threshold, and they are going to need to hit some people, deal some damage. And that's actually the beauty of Storm Surge, right? You don't necessarily only want people kind of just lingering around in their one-by-ones, praying that the circle moves to them. You're gonna see some fights that are gonna be forced to break out because players need to get above that, or they're gonna die. They're not gonna be able to make it.
Now moving towards the Dusty Divot Diner. You see Clicks and Skeptic. Yeah, the very young duo from NA East, and you just said yourself, I didn't even know you could farm this.
You could get down there.
This is the beauty of it, right? These are the top players in the world showing off the little things that they know that really no one else can pick up on. Many teams already stacking here as there's so many materials to be farmed up. And for a lot of players, Ninja, once they get max, they don't just stop there. They keep farming to have an excess for more if they need to expend a lot of materials quickly. On the bottom right of your screen, you see a fight going down in Salty Springs. A lot of grenades being thrown right there. That's going to be Serpent and Hype.
Hype in an easy spot. Yeah, guys, look at every single team is now in the same safe. Every safe. In. Yes. Structures. So he'll give teammates with double head snipers. They can see it line outside, one, and he'll be able to take them out. And that changes the game completely. Once you're near double heavy, you can almost sit still ever. Or you know where they're at. You have to make sure you have at least two walls of cover on that side to protect you from the inevitable double sniping. We say double snipe as far as 1, 2, 3, shoot. And then they fire at the same time. Yeah, exactly. Guys, our rotation item gets 6 shadows. Guys, they have all their guys great spot. Absolutely. You see the zone did just update towards the northern side of this storm. Storm Surge is now in play. So players beginning to drop. 80 players in total in this game. They will just rotate out of here. Hype and Circle. No one flight in. That's Jay. Now White Week. With Storm Surge beginning to get win and lose. Now having to push fight as Storm Surge is affecting them as well. And you see it try to smite them down from the heavens. There they go. Getting dropped by Storm Surge. Unfortunate for them. Again, not enough damage done. They fall below that threshold. Storm Surge really does just force people into a pretty tricky situation. But again, it just goes to show a lot of aggressiveness is going to pay off for this team. You don't want to be put in a situation where you have to desperate push. Maybe you'll do a little bit of a drop down. You know what I mean? Airwax going to replay. There's went down. Airwax and Nico winners. Well, Airwax at least are back to back winners. Go down. Airwax double as well. Tough first game for them as they go out white early on. 70 players in this game. 38 duos. And this is low overall. The drop. Have you ever seen anything like this? No, I think the only time that we saw it like this was the circles where they didn't really chomp that much, and they were more centralized and getting competitive. So really no one had to rotate that much, no one had to fight. So now that the circles are really just kind of moving around the map, you can't really predict them. I mean, getting players who have great aim, and people who are focusing on trying to go through a circle. But look, so many people coming outside right now. And just guys are in a top position with solid aim. Right now, already getting spamming these things, trying to make it difficult as possible to hit. You see a lot of them already trying to figure out where's he going to look at all these people already pretty on more shopping coming down. And he's going to be able to make it 8 grenades. So, getting additional stuff already getting some outside. 8 grenades might be the kills too. Yep. Right there. They do box up in time. They take some shield damage. They have some minis for that. Just a few brief moments. There's like they say. Now Jimmy's got to be right next to us. Well, Medkit, they're going to pop that. Every little bit HHP matters. Save fire a little later in your ears. Now, also, the elimination be right there. Looking at earlier with his duo Metro. They're set up mainly, so 68 players left. Love watching this guy play. Here's check this out. Only done right now. Combat shot is no spray guns. Right? Spray guns are anything to TV, rifle, bar, and like that. You've got to have a gun that's pretty quickly. Kill players, hit players in 1 fights. Very difficult. And though. 5 serves. 2 serves. 5 they already have a start. This is insane. Close zone as well. They don't have to move too far. Yep. And material wise out of that 135 to build, they're in a fantastic position to make some noise. Game number 1. They'll definitely keep updating with them. The slipstream slowly inching towards where they're going to get a shutdown, but with so many slipstreams still available, so a lot of players are going to use that to rotate on in without using launch pads or the shadow bombs. There's your whole map right there. The eastern side of so none of these players are going to be at an advantage. A little bit more towards Lake. They want to be some of that fast. Look at all the players in the world. So excited they actually have the force. These money might still be sorry. I can't. These players are so talented. It's so hard to break their wall. Like one by one to dodging sticks. You see these sticks right now. With good rotation, definitely has a bunch, to be like the next storm has to be kicked off in 12 damage. They'll have to be good shots down range. It's the zone pushing as well. So with the zone at their back, beat Jojo's goal. Right players have push the zone. They have a way to go. They can afford more damage. They've got to push right out of control. Knows that now begins the fire. Just below as well. One of the players on multiple times. So still attack. Here's the thing, just mentioning all the players going to be rotating in. The four rotated. Everybody knows. These are the last 9 assault shots in inventory. It's getting scrappy, folks. There's the split. Still 80, meaning the front line between the two. They really have about 150 shots to win. The zone still pushing 61 players left. Five folks. Number 1 of 6 today in the duo competition. Does go down the playoff back wall. He wasn't quite ready for it. Mega Randy back out. Got to build a storm surge on. Trying to be aggressive. Oh, he's still below, right? He's going to be aggressive. He won't even have time to revive his teammate. His teammate got finished, actually, so he's got all the shields in the world. Get back up to full health. Storm Surge is still ripping him apart. That slurp is barely keeping him alive.
Hitting him for 25 damage every time it winds up ticking. There it is again, dropping on in. Mega's hand is forced. Some big damage right there, still below. As players are continuing to drop all around, but Mega doing a solid job of keeping himself alive right now through this storm surge. Fantastic composure again, one of the young players on this stage looking to try to secure the title of Fortnite World Champion. No more dubs to the duo.
Still okay, so now finally above, and guess what? The most important thing to realize, guys, look at that rotation. Yes, he's alone. Yes, his teammate's down. That has an incredible kit to not only make it to late game, but maybe even clutch this win out. He dropped the shotgun. Okay, there you go. Got the combat shotgun, one of the greatest shotguns to have late game. Does incredible damage, long range and close range. And all the guys, the circle just rotated now into the storm. Massive amounts of distance needs to be covered.
This storm surge is insane. It's still going on.
Finally taken out. 52 players left. And this is where things are about to get serious, guys.
Thomas drops some ammo right there for his teammate, Inclusia. And you see Thomas, that epic infantry rifle, one of your favorite weapons, Ninja. What is so good about that assault rifle?
It 100% rewards pinpoint accurate players, right? There's no bloom necessary. Your marker, your aim is right on their head. Boom. You're going to get that headshot. You're going to get 80 points of damage. And there's now the upgraded versions, the Legendary and the Epic, have 10 shots instead of 8. So, I mean, it just packs a punch, man. It can really catch players off guard. And that's exactly what you're going to need when you're playing against these top players who will literally build and protect themselves when they get shot once.
Folks, there are 45 players left in this very, very small zone. We are now on our 6th storm. You see it's about to begin to move, and players will frantically have to go across the map. Zayt and Saf right now discussing exactly what they should drop, pulling up their map, looking exactly where they have to go. 44 left in this one.
We already got people using shockwave grenades, guys. This is a very far rotation for the second movement circle. So this is actually going to move very quickly. These people are going to potentially get stuck on their launch pads because there's so much frequent building. It's going to be nuts. And who's going to try to take the high ground? Because after this first circle goes, this is where people start to only try to use the high ground.
And we know high ground is everything in competitive Fortnite late game. Everyone frantically moving away from the common enemy of everyone, which is that storm circle. Macwood taking zone damage. Daedra as well. King slowly bouncing on through with the shadow bomb, and does land.
Storm?
Yes, but taking no storm damage, just playing right on the edge of it. Yeah, right on the edge of the zone right now. Will just stay boxed up for a brief moment. As now there's 36 players remaining, stomping the elimination feed. Arkram now goes down as well. You can see the elimination feed on the top left to keep track of your favorite players. There's so much is going on. This is what tunneling is. When you hear players mention tunneling, this is it right here. You move with the zone, you tunnel your way in, give yourself cover, but not a lot of materials left. Only 22 builds, and this zone is stacked. But look who's on the high ground. It's Mr. Savage and Benji Fishing.
That would be your 2 picks, so good for you. All right, I have to owe you a bet there, man. What's that? All right. Bongo, unfortunately, do we still have Micho still alive? I mean, listen, people are dying left and right, being eliminated. More Savage just used another shockwave grenade. He already had a high ground, though. The question is, are people going to try to take it? You know that if you really want the chance to win this, you're going to have to try to take the high ground off him or have a rocket launcher to just take him out of it.
He's just so weakened. Mr. Savage just looks up and beams the player out of the air. It's all Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage in the elimination feed right now. 24 players left in this one. But 20 duos. There's almost no duos remaining, Ninja.
Right, this is all solos, and this is kind of what's going to happen, man.
Mr. Savage goes down.
It's up to Benji, and listen, Benji's been in this position before. We know he can handle it. Mitro's still in the game as well. I just saw him. He looks incredibly healthy, but now taking some storm damage. Benji's just going to try. Elizabeth, look at the materials. Not a lot left. They're only using their shadows. I think he has 1 build left.
Yep.
That's it. That's all he has.
He's got 10 total builds.
10 total builds.
He's just trying to outlast as many players as possible. Remember these placement points. We've made it into our top 10 duos. Now into our top 8. Zayt and Saf now. Zayt and Saf now on the high ground.
This game.
One of the few, the only duo left. This has a Zayt and Saf win written all over it. Mitro, Mongrel's duo, was all by himself from very early on. Still alive in this one. 40R Storm now getting beamed. Can the North American duo of Zayt and Saf close this out? Raining down fire from up top. You see the frantic builds coming in. Benji Fishy goes down. Mega, Mitro, and Scarlet on the low ground. Shots still coming on in. Zayt and Saf just sitting pretty.
God, Mitro just got a double, I think.
Mitro
5 limbs.
Tries to get it done. Not enough. Zayt and Saf, 2 versus 1. Will they take game number 1? Yes, they will!
Zayt and Saf had the high ground, and they used it the entire game. Rain fire from above.